Brian, the Hatters fan, says, when Jack leads us out at Wembley in May against Arsenal in the final, we're going to look back at that. Forest Green came and laugh at just what tonight was. Welcome back to our Hatters Walk. It's 20 minutes of Luton Town chat. Hope you are all doing well. We've got our full team back this week. We're asking, are Luton looking sharper under Wilshere? We've now got 2 games of 90 minutes to get evidence from. What do our panel think? We're also asking them to update their predictions for where Luton will finish, given that we've now got a quarter of the season gone. And with bonfire night around the corner, which one player in this team needs a rocket up their backside? Who is flattering to deceive? And also we're going to carry on with our A to Z of Luton Town. Hope you're all doing well. We've got Mark, Lewis and Dan back with us. Happy birthday, Lewis, for the weekend. Looking not a day over 21. Hope you've had a decent day. Before we get started, I just want to shout out a couple of our fans last week. We really appreciate everyone who comments on any of these videos. So massive thank you to Up the Town, who said, Mark, last week we asked you for the worst ever result. Do you remember this one? Luton 3, Wrexham 4. The end of the legendary Ricky Hill's time as manager still makes me sad. Richard said Grimsby 7, Luton 1, FA Cup in early January the 1990s. Do you remember that one? Cold, miserable weather. Yeah. So cheers for you two for putting that on last week's video. That's amazing. We really like to read all these comments out. Right, Mark. I switched off at half time, so I can't profess to see anything.
So did Luton.
I thought it was done. Just explain that second half to us.
Well, it was Halloween. It was trick or treat, and we were tricked into thinking we're just going to stroll through the second half, and we did get a treat of a 7-goal thriller. So that's all my references to Halloween out the way straight away.
Okay, good. Okay,
but no, I mean, I think that just shows where the confidence has been, and obviously we've seen great improvements the last couple of games. But yeah, I mean, fair play to Forest Green. They had nothing to lose, and the heads could have dropped, and they could have sort of accepted their lot, but they just gave it a go. And as soon as they got the first goal, it was almost like, I think everyone said, "Oh, not Bournemouth again, please." And but fair play to them, and we just seemed to lose our composure. We just like everything got a bit frantic, and I think that just shows where the confidence has been. That when you're 3-0 up against a team 2 leagues below, you just manage the game, see it out. But that wasn't how it was, and but the positive is that we've won the game, and we would have lost that game a couple of months ago easily. So take the positives and move on.
Yeah. Do you know your way to Fleetwood?
Yes, I do. Been there before. We're already planning it tonight.
Okay, good. This time of year, it's lovely. So I'm told. Right, Lewis, what have we learned from watching those 2 games so far then about how Wilshere's going to set up this Luton side?
Well, out of the 3 games, he's managed 4 games so far. We've won 3 out of the 4, but it's tough to say because 2 of them are cup games. One was against another 21 side Premier League team. The other was, against a team that had nothing to lose in Forest Green, and they were going to give it their all. So it's tough, but the one thing which you can get is that you've won 3 games in a row. That should give the players some momentum, some confidence to take into the next game, which is probably, I would say, the hardest game of the season so far for us, which is Stockport, who I imagine are going to be competing at the top end. They already are. And I don't think they're, the finished article yet, and they could get better. So I think if we could get a positive result against them, that would put us in a really good position for me. That, we might change our fortunes this season and, climb up that table. But an embarrassment result, I think maybe plenty more work needs to be done.
I mean, congratulations on being selected to go and meet him. Of course, we haven't seen you, spoke to you since then. Great interviewers, of course. Fortunate that you must. Did you do an airplane hangar? It sounded like you did.
It's right by the airport.
Yeah,
it's right. You can't even press conference they can't do nothing about it. It's just
mad. Yeah. That's crazy. How did he come across? I mean, I know you can't kind of, put words in his mouth, but yeah, did he seem like he wanted to be there and seemed like he generally cared?
Yeah, he gave me Nathan Jones type of vibes in the sense of he just cares about winning, which is, I think, the most important thing. I think the last two managers, they've been really stuck on playing a certain way and playing a certain formation where I think Jack will be a lot more adaptable. And I think the biggest part of the appointment is having Chris Powell, who is such an experienced guy next to him, and interviewing him. He just completely gets it. And they all kind of complement each other in a certain way. And it feels like it's a good recipe on, something special is going to happen now. It feels like we've got this appointment right.
Dan, we haven't spoken to you since this appointment as well. What's your take on appointing Wilshere? Be honest, what was your initial reaction to the news before you started football?
Well, when I first heard he was favourite for the job, I thought, well, I know we go for young managers, but he's really young, So I was a little bit apprehensive about that. But as soon as I heard Chris Powell was going to be number two, I was a little bit more at ease with it. And when you watch the interviews with Jack Wilshere, initially, I came away blown away almost, because that 40-minute press conference they put out, he completely changed any doubts I had. Always knew the first game against Mansfield was going to be tough, because they're no mugs really. But since then, we've had three wins in 7 days, and you cannot ask for more than that. And so far, he's making all the right noises. We've seen a couple of different changes, a couple of different teams across the 3 games as well, with it being Trophy and FA Cup and League. Injuries, people coming back as well. So he's not afraid to change it around a bit. Like Lewis said, he's pretty adaptable as well. So, yeah, I'm excited for the future. I'm not expecting big things this season. I think we need to sort of work out where we're at the moment and where we're going to go forward and how we're going to do that. And I think the rest of the season will be used to do that. But yeah, generally really excited by it now. Really excited.
Let's got some more tweets. And Matt says, 3 wins on the bounce, never in doubt. Obviously, I'm a bit sarcastic. Luckily, really, we got lucky, which is frustrating. I thought we were getting a bit more momentum on to Stockport away. I guess we'll see where we are against the league leaders. A bit of a negative one, Mark. Mod says, this Yates' guy, he stinks. What's going on? It wasn't an isolated tweet. Joey Yates, where are we at with him now?
Well, I mean, in the games that Jack Wilshere's played, he's seen Naki Wells as he's the one that started the games, and I just look at where we've struggled to get the striker's service and actually get them in the 6-yard box and not have them out wide. I mean, you look what Carlton Morris is doing with service at Derby, but I just think, yes, Yates hasn't blown us away, but I think that Jack Wilshere is very keen to he's talked about the wide players and the creativity and the type of player that Jack was and how he wants his midfielders to be creative and to forward pressing. And I think the amount of times that we've sat there screaming, we get a crossing and there's nobody in the middle. So I think, he's not blown us away, but he's and is it a coincidence that he's started to score, albeit against Brighton? Naki Wells got a couple. We've got players coming back from injury. Al Hamadi made his first start. Now all of a sudden, there's really good competition for places. So let's see what comes in the coming months.
Lewis, who else needs a shout out from that Forest Green game in terms of the players impressed?
I think Fane. I think since Jack Wilshere's come in, he's been one of the most impressive players. I find it mad that in Sweden he was playing as a defensive midfielder, whereas with us he's never played a game as a defensive midfielder. We've played him further forward, and we've kind of I think we're trying to change him as a footballer in terms of being a more attacking player, someone that can carry the ball from deep and progress into the opposition box. We just need to get goals and assists to his name. But you saw the finish against Northampton, nice tap in there. But even the goal against Forest Green, that was a lovely finish. In fact, he could have scored 2 goals against Forest Green.
Yeah,
then he set up the third goal, which he could have actually had the shot himself, but instead it was a lovely pass dinked over the keeper to Naki Walsh just to have a tap in. So that Fanny for me has really stepped up, and I think Jack Wilshere trusts him a lot more. I don't think Bloomfield trusted him as much, but Jack, I think, really does trust him, and he trusts him more than Zach Nelson, who is an attacking midfielder who's not really stepping up, who I'll talk more about in a second when we talk about what player needs a rocket up their backside. But, for me, Fano, definitely.
Okay, Bill. Have we got a Jack Wilshere song yet, by the way? Is that still to come?
It will come.
I'm working on it.
I'm working on it, okay. Right.
Jack Wilshere's Barmy Army so far.
Oh, my God. Right.
Yeah, very creative.
Right, Dan, starting with you then. Based on what you've now seen, and we're quarter way through the season now, so we have to ask this question for you to update your season predictions. Now, we're not going to hold you to account at the end, so don't worry. Based on what you've seen and where you think the trajectory is heading to, where will Luton Town finish 1 to 24 this season?
I think somewhere between 6th and 12th, to be honest. And I'm doing that so that I'm not going to get pinned back for saying, because I think potentially we can go and get promoted, but from what I've seen so far this season, we've had a third of the season now, and we've lost a lot of games, dropped a lot of stupid points that we shouldn't have dropped, given away silly goals. That's still yet to be edged out from what we've seen so far under Wilshere. It's going to take a bit more time to put that right. So I think, like I said earlier, I think it's about between now and the end of the season, sort of building up working out where we are and where we're going to fit, where we want to be. So I could take this year as a hit and just try and finish mid-table or somewhere around there.
Okay. 6 points outside the playoffs at the moment, Mark, with 1 game in hand, with Lincoln dropping off a little bit, Huddersfield dropping off a little bit, Cardiff being a little bit hit and miss. If you go on a good run here, you could really do something this season.
I'm sort of cautiously optimistic in that we're still in the early stages of Jack's time at the club and what he wants to get across, and we don't know what he wants to do in January. But the biggest thing for us has been first in his consistency, where we've strung 3 wins together, albeit 2 are in the cup, but it's consistency, trying to get that momentum basically. And the second thing is like the wins have been when we've only kept clean sheets in the league. So we need to find ways of winning and get that confidence up when we might go behind. So yeah, I would take. If we get anywhere in the playoffs, I would be grateful. But to the same extent, I think this is a season where Jack just almost if we get in the playoffs, great. But I think we're building for what Jack can achieve, if not this year's season and next season.
Okay. Lewis?
I feel like we've got a tough run coming up. We've got Huddersfield at home. We've got Barnsley, Bolton. I think and then we've got Stockport next week. If we can get past this really tough run of tough run of fixtures with quite a few points, then I would be a lot confident in actually, we could actually climb up the league. We could compete. I don't think there is at the moment a set team that is going to win it. I think at the moment, when you look at the league, they're all beating each other, which is kind of good because that means someone's dropping points. But if you can get positive result against a Bolton, a Huddersfield, a Stockport, then you stand a chance in getting into those playoff positions at the end of the season. But right now, I just think there's a lot of work that needs to be done, as we saw against Forest Green, especially defensively. If we can sort that out and also keep scoring goals, then we might have a chance. But it all really does depend on if we can get through this tough run of fixtures with a positive outcome. If we can't, then I think we might just have an outside chance of getting into those playoff positions. If we can, then I think we could do it.
Okay. Good shout. Let us know in the comments what you think. Right, Bonfire Night coming on Wednesday then. So, of course, we're topically asking which one player still needs a rocket up their backside. Who has not lit up this season as you would expect? I know there's a few that you could probably throw into this mix, but Mark, where would you
Why do we start with me? It's really did. I mean, I spent Thursday watching them train, so I was at the training ground and I spoke to a lot of them, and I know they all care and they're all trying. But I mean, form wise, it's Cal Naismith isn't the player we had the first time round, and I think that might be because they're playing him as a left back and he's not left back. But I think I sort of expected more from Cal before the season started, and he looked good when he played Northampton as one of the as the centre half. So
Yeah.
that's where I'd go with it.
Okay, Dom.
It's really difficult, like you say, because up till a few weeks ago, a lot of them were underperforming, so you'd have to pick one out. But I think I just want to see a bit more from Sabo, a bit more positivity from him. It's probably a bit unfair digging him out because there's plenty of others I can pick on, like I said. But I just want to see him be a bit more positive with the ball. I think he plays too safe and often plays into trouble, and then he's a bit slow reacting as well. So I just want to see a bit more of him.
Lewis?
Zach Nelson for me. I know he's a young player, but last season he had his time transitioning into the team. Yes, we got relegated, but then this is the season where I expected him to kick on and really claim a starting place, and I just don't think he's doing it. Even in the cup games recently, he looked poor. He just didn't. I don't think it's about him not caring, but I just don't think he knows what he needs to do. When he's got the ball, I just don't see a player that really wants to claim a first team spot. And I feel like our midfield, especially like controlling possession, we need someone to be able to do that. We've only got Walsh at the moment. And I've got a feeling, as Jack Wilshere is a midfield player, he's going to identify actually the midfield does need something a bit more. And I think he's going to sign a midfielder in January, which then means Zach Nelson's going to get less minutes. So if Zach Nelson, for me, if he can't do it in League One, I just don't know if we're the right team for him. I think we're going to have to move him on because this is when he needs to like really grab this first team opportunity. And I just don't think he's doing it enough, not on a consistent basis.
Three good shots. Yeah. So.
And for me, if I was going to pick one, it would probably be Jerry Yates, because what we've expected and what he's done in the leagues before, I was just expecting more from Jerry Yates. Yes, he might not have got the service, but I'm just disappointed with the return, which might come in time.
Yeah,
I think I'll back that up actually, because he's he doesn't seem to know where to be half the time either, which for an experienced striker is really worrying. I don't know if that's just me, but that's my take on him.
I can introduce you to a few Swansea fans, Mark, who wouldn't be surprised at all with what he's outputting. what they've watched. Finally, this week, then it is. I think you've been done there. We've got the A to Z of Luton Town. We're up to the letter D this week. Thanks for all the comments on this last week. Is this a tricky letter, Lewis? Any suggestions?
For me, it's Dewsbury Hall, one of the best loan signings we've ever made. And you see what he's doing at Everton.
Yeah,
he's just an incredible footballer. And unfortunately, I never got to see him play live because it was during the COVID season.
Yeah. Good show. Yeah, Dan?
Is it? I haven't been on since we've done this. Is it players with surname D?
Yeah, if you can think of one. Yeah, we'll come back to you. We'll give you some thinking time.
All right. No, I've got one.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve Davis played for us in the mid to late 90s. Mark will probably remember him. But he was a really good centre half. He could score goals. Real captain. In a arguably poor Luton side, he was just outstanding for us. Always stood out for me.
Brilliant.
And on that subject, we've had 10 players called Davis play for Luton Town.
And not me, unfortunately.
Which one are you picking then, Mark?
It's basically going back to my age, but it's got to be Mal Donegal. Like, one of our all-time greats. Yeah, and you can't forget Andy Dibble's save in the cup final against Arsenal. Alfie Doherty. Yeah, there's Curtis Davis. I could go on and on. A lot of them are sort of my era, but yeah, definitely Mal Donaghy would be my standout player.
Okay. I feel we should just give it to you, Mark, every week just to fill this whole book in, given your vast knowledge of Luton Town. But yeah, all right, Mal will certainly get it. Thank you very much. On to F then next week. Join us for that. We're also going to look back at the Stockport game, which of course is next Saturday. So join us for that as well as we head into another international break. Thank you very much, you three. Thank you, of course, very much for joining. Grateful for your company again. Do hit that subscribe button and that like button as well. Do go and check out Lucy's channel, of course, as well, which is absolutely amazing. And we'll see you in 7 days' time.